This meeting is being recorded and/or transcribed.
Jeff, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right, excellent. We will call the December 29th, 2021 Board of Public Works and Safety to order. Any adjustments to the agenda, Chris?
No, just note that since we have a member participating electronically, we have to call for a
Roll call. Okay. Shouldn't be too hard with two people.
I wouldn't think so.
We'll go ahead and move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Jason. I'll second. Jason, are you in favor? Or Jeff, sorry, are you in favor?
Yes.
And I as well am in favor. So, got that, Carrie? All right. We'll move on to resolutions. A request to approve a partial release and termination of easement at Watermark site. Since this is just a vacation of an easement, is there any concerns, Jeff, on your part?
No.
Seeing none, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Jeff, second by Scott. Jeff, do you approve?
I approve.
I approve as well. Moving on to the second, or number 6, request to approve a memorandum of understanding with Hamilton Southeastern Schools pertaining to the snow removal services and grounds maintenance. Again, are there any questions or concerns on this item?
No.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Jeff, second by Scott. Jeff, do you approve?
I approve.
I approve as well. Moving on to item 7, a request to approve a utility reimbursement agreement with the Hamilton Southeastern Utilities for 141st and 37. Can you just explain how this plays into the transaction that's going to play out today?
Sure, so just real briefly, for the record, Chris Greisel. Like any utility performing work on State Road 37, certain expenses have been reimbursable through the project. Hamilton Southeastern Utilities had performed certain pre-construction service work for the intersection at 141st and State Road 37. And so what this agreement will do is reimburse them for those efforts leading up to today at closing. The transfer of that project after we close on the acquisition of the utility today will then fall under the responsibility of our utility to complete the remaining portions of the intersection improvements.
So is this primarily design work that they've done today? Because they haven't purchased any assets or anything, have they?
You're correct. It is 100% for the design and coordination efforts that have been led up to today, or December 8th, 2021. Okay. At that point, we coordinated with HSC Utilities to do a handoff. We've met with them and their designer and are in conversations of trying to bring their consultant on board to finalize the design and move it forward to put out to bid publicly through our process.
Gotcha. Any additional questions, Jeff?
No.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Jeff, second by Scott. Jeff, are you in favor?
I'm in favor.
I'm in favor as well. Moving on to item 8. Thank you, Jason. Is a request to approve 2022 property and casualty insurance renewal. Lisa.
Thank you. For the record, Lisa Bradford, City Controller. The item before you is our 2022 property and casualty renewal with Selective through our insurance broker, MJ. And so the biggest change is not one particular area has gone up extremely, very much, but all of them across the board have gone up a little bit, which gets us to a higher total this year. Predominantly with auto, just a couple more accidents, which caused an increase in the premium. And then especially cyber insurance has continually gone up and increased. But it's still below, and our increases are below industry norms and are within the budget limit.
What do we budget for, Lisa, do you recall?
We have $1,475,000, which includes property casualty and workers' comp. So okay. We're within that, and so workers' comp will come up in March.
When you were negotiating this, did you look at all about the deductible levels on cars, whether it made sense to move that up?
We did. What we determined that it wasn't enough to move the needle. It was probably like a $2,000, $3,000 difference actually in the actual premium itself. And so what we've talked about with MJ is, again, more incentives within the city to help work and reduce auto accidents. We figured that to try and drive down the claims
Okay.
amounts. But yeah, we looked and we explored some different options on auto, umbrella and some of those, and they just, at the end of the day, didn't come out enough that it was probably worth the risk, was
Okay.
what we determined.
Okay. Any additional questions, Jeff?
No, I'm good with that.
Seeing no other questions, I will go ahead and make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Jeff. Are you in favor, Jeff?
Yes.
I'm in favor as well. Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks.
We will move on to the next agenda item, which is a request to approve master relationship agreement for the City of Fisher's employee health plan.
You want me to do that?
I would just say that this is our, for lack of a better term, our overall agreement regarding our healthcare provider for our employee health insurance with Community Health Network. And it's a departure from what we've done in the past, but has a significant potential for cost savings. And this is kind of the master agreement that I guess outlines or articulates several other documents associated with our agreement to provide these services. So I will go ahead and make a motion to approve this. Are there any questions from you, Jeff?
No, then I'll second.
Okay, motion by Scott, second by Jeff. Jeff, do you approve?
I approve.
I approve as well. Moving on to the final item of the day, request to approve release of secured real estate and certain other matters in connection therewith.
For the record, Chris Greisel, City Attorney. You have a "therewith" in there, so I have to be the one presenting. This is regarding the Saxony development. So back a while ago, Jeff, while we were at town, we entered into a pretty extensive agreement with Interchange Diversified for the entire area of Saxony. And a portion of that agreement included a real estate mortgage for us to secure certain property for our benefit. And Interchange has now come to the city wanting to develop a certain portion of that property. So based on our taxpayer agreement, they're coming back to the city asking that we release a portion of that property that has been secured by the mortgage so that they can go forward with development. The Redevelopment Commission later today is also going to be approving the change to the taxpayer agreement. So the city's in favor of it because it's going to spur development, which is then going to continue to plenish the TIF that's out in that area. So happy to answer any questions that you have.
So this is not really discretionary. This is per the agreement that we have for that economic development area.
It is, but it's also up to the city's discretion to release the secured property or any portion of it. And it's that way because we wouldn't just release it without any kind of development occurring like it is.
Well, I do know there is plans to move forward with development out there, so I will go ahead and make a motion to approve. Are there any questions from you, Jeff?
I guess just to clarify, it sounds like, I mean, we're in a sense directing the land usage to ensure that it's a taxable land use as opposed to a non-taxable land use.
It's basically, the land was collateralized, for lack of a better term, to ensure that if they weren't generating tax increment to pay off their debts, that the land would be available for us to use to pay that debt. And now that they're moving forward with development, to your point, Jeff, that is taxable, they're asking for a release of some of that collateral because they can predict that they're going to generate the tax revenue needed to pay the debt. And I think you just went on mute, Jeff. But I will go ahead and make a motion I think I already made a motion. Jeff, are you seconding? I can hear you now.
Scott, you still there? Okay, good. I lost you for a second.
Yep. So I motioned, you've seconded. Do you approve?
I approve.
I approve as well, so motion carries. I think that's the last agenda item for this year, in fact. So Jeff, thank you for your time and commitment over this last year. I know Jason wasn't able to be with us on the line today, but I appreciate all of your guys' work this year and look forward to a new year with lots of conversations around a variety of things, including 5G cell towers. So with that, I will make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. Let's just say we're all in favor. that fair, Jeff?
Yeah.
All right. Have a good holiday,
That's fair.
Jeff. Meeting adjourned.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the opportunity to serve.